Hi, this is James from Mission, and today we're talking about the Mission EP-11 expression pedal, designed explicitly for the 11 rack from DigiDesign. So let's get started. So here we have the Mission EP-11 expression pedal for the DigiDesign 11 rack. Like most Mission expression pedals, it's a vintage style all metal expression pedal chassis with a high quality, extremely reliable potentiometer that's designed for heavy use and rated at 1 million operations. We have an orange Mission EP-11 logo on the front, which is designed to match the orange color of the 11 rack front panel. On the left hand side we see the expression pedal output, and this is what we connect to the back panel of the 11 rack. Using a stereo TRS cable is required. So the cable has 3 connectors on: a tip, a ring and a sleeve. Here we're using a Mission TRS cable, which has a right angle jack on the pedal side and a straight through jack on the equipment side, but any decent quality 1/4 inch TRS stereo instrument jack will do the trick. One unique feature about the EP-11 is underneath the treadle here. See, there's a little toggle switch. Now in this configuration, which is how the EP-11 ships, toggle switch is switched back, and that gives you the best response when you're connected direct to the back panel of the 11 rack. Now at some point you may want to use the pedal with a MIDI floor controller. There's a number of MIDI floor controllers available that will work with the 11 rack. The Voodoo Labs Ground Control Pro is one that's very commonly used with the 11 rack, but there are numerous others. And many of those require a different configuration for the pedal. To avoid having to use 2 pedals, or avoid having to rewire your pedal, we have a little toggle switch on there, and if at some point you add a MIDI controller to your 11 rack, you can simply flip the toggle and then use the Mission EP-11 direct in your floor controller. Then if you don't use the floor controller, maybe you decide not to use one, or you're going on a fly gig and you just want a simple configuration, just flip it back, plug it straight back into the 11 rack, and you're good to go. Alright, that's pretty much all there is in terms of configuring the pedal itself. So now let's look at the setup for the 11 rack. So we have our Mission EP-11 plugged into the expression pedal port on the back of the 11 rack. So let's get it configured. The first thing to mention is the firmware version. We're running version 1.0.3 on the 11 rack here, and it's certainly recommended to upgrade to at least that version if you're running something earlier. A lot of changes were made in the expression pedal support in 1.0.3, so make sure you're running at least that version before you do this configuration. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to hold the edit back key, hold for options, and then we're going to select external pedals, and then you can see it shows you 2 settings, one for expression pedal and one for foot switch, and this depends on what device it is you have plugged into the input on the back of the 11 rack. You can either configure it for an expression pedal or for foot switches. At this time the 11 rack cannot support both an expression pedal and a foot switch at the same time, so That means it's not compatible with the switching expression pedals like the Mission SP1, and the EP-11 is an expression pedal only. There's no simultaneous foot switch function. If you need to access both an expression pedal and a foot switch at the same time, you need to use an external MIDI controller, and we talk more about that in some other videos. So we're configured for expression pedal. So the first thing we need to do is select the type. And by default, I think it's set to normal, so we're going to turn the knob here till it gets right to the end, and you'll see this pedal type EP-11. So this configures the 11 rack to expect an EP-11 expression pedal. And then we're going to press switch 2 for calibrate, and then I'm going to hold the pedal all the way heel down, and then press next, and then I'm going to push the pedal all the way to toe down and press next, and that's calibrated. Then I'm going to move it, and we'll see the little green light on switch 2 indicates as I move the pedal to show that it's active. So we'll now press switch 1 again, which is save, and we're good to go. Let's press edit back again, and now we're going to configure what the expression pedal does. So we'll just press edit, and by default here we have it set up for a wah pedal, so that's what we're going to use here. We're going to press switch 1, which is controls, and then we're going to move the pedal all the way back to heel down, and you see it says 0, all the way to toe down, which is 10, which is what you need for the full sweep of the pedal. And you can see as you move it backwards and forwards, you get a nice sweep from all the way heel down, which is there, and toe down, which is there. Perfect. Edit back, and that's done. That's the DigiDesign 11 rack configured with the Mission EP-11 expression pedal.